my name is Christina Thatcher. I am a creative writing lecturer at Cardiff Metropolitan University. I'm really excited to be here today to do a reading for the Versopolis Festival of Hope. I think hope is something that we really need at the moment during this global pandemic. And I've been thinking about what kinds of hopeful poems I might read to you. I've decided to read a set from my new collection called How to Carry Fire. This has just been published with Parthenon Books. Not all of the poems in this collection are hopeful. A lot of them are dark and difficult. I grew up in a challenging environment with lots of poverty and drug addiction, but the second half of the collection covers what it meant for me to move from America to Wales and what that kind of process of finding a new home and building a new home was like. And for me, these poems are very hopeful. So I thought I would start there. I thought I would first start by reading a poem which I wrote just before leaving the US. And this is called My Last American Road Trip, which was taken just a few months before I packed my bags and moved to Wales. Off the coast of Bar Harbor, mouth still numb from the sweet salt of lobster ice cream, I point at moose cluttering the tree line. Soon seals slice the water, their bodies the length of my wobbling kayak, and I stop to think what it means to be in this place, where eagles rocket and call to me, where I know what it takes to catch river trout, tease chickens from their eggs, gallop horses. All at once, I don't want to leave, don't want to board a plane to some unknown country. I am afraid. Slow my paddling until the man leading us circles back to me and points. See those rocks? They formed during the Paleozoic era. Red and gray teeth cut straight into the earth, broke apart after millennia. Jagged now, they were once connected to Wales, Pembrokeshire, famous for its stretching coast, just like home. Thank you. So that was a really pivotal moment for me, thinking about how the ocean connects my home in America and my new home, or my then to be new home in Wales. I also wrote this poem about kind of moving and finding your place. This is called How to Build a Boat. Use wood from your hometown. In my case, wild pine. Sand it smooth and cork the holes. Find water that's not too deep to test it. Practice swimming. Then shove off. Live on that boat. Find other boat goers. Approach shores that look nothing like your own. Learn from the people there. Find small joys. Accept your life has little meaning. Leave the boat when you are ready. Give yourself up to the sea. So I was really lucky when I arrived in Wales. I met some wonderful people here and fell in love with the landscape. So this is one of the poems that I've written about Wales. It's called Keeping Warm, after Horatio Clare. Wales is a small coat with deep pockets. So I plunge my hands in to search for treasure and fish out. Steep climbs to fickle skies, wild rivers thrusting through a hilly landscape, blackbirds chirping sharply on a wooden zigzag fence. I pull out steeples, churches, the sounds of singing, bells, signs with words I know but can't pronounce. Home words. In the seams, I find skeletons of winter trees, crumpled forest ferns, flakes of mud. My fingers smell of damp and wood smoke, thin wisps of cinnamon, strong home brews. They are so much deeper than I thought. These pockets made of Brecon caves, dark and light, hot and cold, drawing me in to this good and steadfast place. So not only did I find this amazing new landscape when I moved to Wales, and make some wonderful friends, but I also met a Welsh man, and on our very first trip together, just as friends, he took me to this beautiful seaside town called Tenby on the west coast of Wales, and this poem is about that experience. Touring Tenby with the man I will one day marry. We talk first of lepers, the ones who used to occupy the hospital fortress near the beach. I read later of their shortened fingers, deformed limbs, eyes crumpled like wet kitchen roll. You point to the pub full of soldiers, then down a side street where once, as a teen, you bashed up a car and ran, rum heavy from the police. I listen to stories of children pocketing fat slabs of Caldi chocolate, fleeing from monks, the back island lighthouse too weak to spot them, returning to shore. We talk in the end of gravestones, who the names belong to and what led us here to meet them, move closer until our legs touch from hip bone to knee, the smell of ocean froth feeding our hungry lungs. Thank you. So not long after that trip, our relationship became official, and I wrote this poem called Monogamy. Monogamy is the construction we do in the dark, laying fresh tracks in earth, headlamps shining until dawn. It's the moments we reveal ourselves, say out loud, I am afraid of failure. This labor leads us somewhere, our fingers drifting to the warm joints of our bodies, uncovering together the secrets of assembly until slowly, after many sleepless nights, we learn to trust. We are doing something sturdy. We're not in this alone. Thanks. So, not long after that, Rich, my partner, and I got a house together. And as I mentioned, quite a lot of the poems in this book are set in America. The first half kind of looks at my family life there and what it was like to grow up there in poverty and with family addiction. So there are a lot of difficult things. So when I moved to Wales, I was so grateful to find a home here and to find my place here. And this poem is sort of about that. It's called Domestic. I wash the plump beans, pull the strings from their seams, crack their backs until I hear the snap, snap, and expose their small kidneys, dull, cabled to the inner wall, which is soft as felt, reflective as thread, then settle them into hot water I have boiled in a home I never thought I would have. Thank you. So, after Rich and I got engaged, I wrote a few poems about that, and this is one of them, a bit quirky, but I hope you'll see all the hope that is here. Digestion. The diamond catches the light, and I consider what's ringed underneath. Pale skin, bulbed vessels, tiny capillaries, all running towards thick sacs of tissue which work and move me. Really, you're marrying a colony of organs. And you tell me that's okay. The brain and body are attractive, sure, but what about the miracle innards often overlooked? The blood-filtering spleen, the bulging bladder, the ornery uterus. It is these, you say, the vital back office things that should be loved equal to the eyes and ears, voice and vulva. You know they fuel the colony, and the colony gives and gives. Thank you. So I'm just gonna read one last poem. So one of the things that has really brought me a lot of hope in the last few weeks of isolation here in Wales is our garden. I feel very lucky for us to have a garden, and Rich, my partner, is a gardener. He works for the National Trust. So this is the final poem in the collection, which is called How to Love a Gardener. And I thought that it would be an appropriate one to finish my reading for the Festival of Hope on, because really love is what has been getting me through, not just love in my marriage, but also the love in my community and my friendships. And I feel like love is a tremendous source of hope, and that the people that we love and have around us can really bring us a lot of hope in these dark times. So I just want to thank all of you for listening, and thank you for having me here at the Festival of Hope. Here is my final poem, How to Love a Gardener, for Rich. Love, like the horse chestnut, loves carbon. Like the sun isn't millions of miles away or doomed. Love, like a blue fir amongst white pines, like a wide shovel opening the earth. Rewind your favorite moments over early dinners, the correct identification of an olive tree climbing 65 feet up a fat trunk, turning backpack pockets into houses for leaves. Love as eagerly as sprouting seeds, as hungry as a goat up an argon tree. Love like you are spotting a red squirrel for the first time. Relish in your blooming knowledge of Latin, wood chopping, propagation. Love as easy as hibiscus roots drink rain. Breathe in the smell of earth-drenched boots. Savor the quick-flowing photos of pheasants and hedgehogs and newts. Love, like a pioneer species. Love like sempervirens, evergreen. Love, like every green thing ever planted, will live long and never burn. Thank you so much.